Okay, let me start. Today we will see HTML form, like how to create the HTML form and what are the new elements there in HTML5, and we will create one HTML form, student registration form. Okay. First of all, what is the HTML form? Your HTML form are required to collect different kinds of user inputs. When you want to get the user inputs, then you need the form, like contact details like name, email, address, phone number, uh, credit card information. All these things you can take with the help of HTML form. Then how we can create a form? Using the form tag. Okay. Let me open Sublime Text and open folder, desktop, this is the folder, and we will create one new file, HTML. Okay, I'm giving the name as HTML form demo. Then to create a form, we are using the tag form tag. This is the form tag which is used to create the form. This form tag having two attributes. One is action and the one is method. Action and method attributes are what? When you create a form, you are collecting the user information like name, phone number, date of birth, email ID. These are the user information you are collecting. Then when user click the submit button, the data will goes to what? The data will goes to which uh, okay, the data will goes to which file. Okay, that will be decided by action. Means when user click the submit button, your browser redirect your page to that action page. Okay, with data. Then what is method? Method is in which way you want to transfer the data. Okay, there are two ways, get and post, but don't worry about that thing now because we are learning the web designing. That's why we will focus more on the design. Okay, this will comes under development. Okay, that's why action method I am not using here. Simply I am writing form. Then I want to create the field in the form. Then you can use label for user name. Okay, then input type text. What is your input type? In which way you want that user will input the data. Okay, name you can write uname. ID also you can give uname. Okay, this will create. You will see that. First, let me save form demo.html. See. Okay. Okay. It is creating a text box. Okay. Label, why it is not giving label for username? Okay. Here you have to write user name. Okay. This is the input type. Text means here you can input the text. Like suppose you want to create for email ID. Like here you are writing email. For email, the input type is email. Okay. And you can change the name because this name are unique. Okay. Or here you can write email ID. Okay. See, it create in the same line. If you want to move this to below, you can do it with the help of CSS. Else you can do it using the break tag. Now we will see using the break tag, but when we will develop the website, that time I will show you how to do it using the CSS. Okay. Suppose you want to keep the size of this two text box same. Then here you can write size equal to suppose 30 and the same size 30. Okay, you can see both the size are same. This is coming here, this is coming here because of this length of this text. Okay, that we can do by styling in using the CSS. Okay, then suppose I need a submit button, like input type submit. There is no need of name, value, submit. Also come here. I want that the below. Here. Okay. Now you can see that once I click submit, um, once I click submit, there is I have not filled any detail, but it is not showing any error. What I want some client side validation. See, you have two type of validation. One is client side validation and the one is server side validation. Client side validation is what? Which is browser specific. Means in which browser you are opening the website, based on that browser it will show some particular validation. Okay. Server side validation is what? You are writing the code in the backend. We are learning web designing. That's why we will see client side validation. Okay. That is very simple. In HTML5, you have an attribute known as required. Required attribute is what? Means this field require a value. Means you cannot keep this field blank. Now you can see, let me run it. See, here I am not providing any value. You get the error? Please fill out this field. This validation message will be different on different browser. This is the message you are getting in Chrome. The same if I run in IE. Or Edge. See here. Now when I click, see, here the error message is different. Here it is showing the red border. Okay. Means this is the client side validation which is different on different browser, because this is the browser specific validation. This browser has some error message which displaying based on your input. Okay. And to make that, to get that validation, simply we are using the keyword required. The same thing I want for email also. I will write here required. See, please fill out this field. Suppose here I fill only Vidya, means no other. You can see it's showing the error. That email address must contain the @ symbol. Suppose Vidya @ okay, is incomplete, means you have to provide the domain name. Now only this is correct. Okay, means required field, what it will does, it will make that field compulsory, means it should accept the value. Once you write required, means it should accept the value. Okay, then another one new attribute in HTML5, that is known as placeholder. Placeholder is what? This is the label. Okay, suppose I want to hint something here inside the text box, then I am using placeholder. Placeholder. Suppose in placeholder I am writing enter user name. You can see this is the placeholder, means once I write, the placeholder will disappear. Means you can tell that placeholder is nothing but hint, like what user will do with that particular text box or then that particular input area. Okay, that will be decided by the placeholder. Then you can see that here it's showing the autocomplete option, means whatever previously you have used the value, automatically when you click on that particular text box, it will show the previous value. But if you don't want this previous value, you want that whenever you upload this form, you reload this form, it will not show any previous value. Then what you can do, there is one attribute in HTML5 that is known as autocomplete false. Okay. Why it is not working? Autocomplete. False. Autocomplete attribute value is what? Just a minute. Autocomplete. Autocomplete off. Okay. Not false. That is off. See. Now you don't have any hint. Here you have hint because this autocomplete is on, but this autocomplete is off. Now you don't have any hint. Okay. All of you understand whatever I have done? All of you understand? Okay. Then now we will create one complete form using table, because yesterday we have completed table. Today we will create one form using table. You can create the form without using table. We will see that when we will develop the start to design the website. Okay. Now I just remove this part, and here I just give a title, proper title, student registration form using table. What's the benefit you will get by creating the registration form using table? Your form will be properly aligned because you have rows and columns in the table. If you are not using table, then you have to align it by using the CSS. Here also we will see some basic CSS, basic style, but we will design the form using table. First, I need a heading. Registration form. This is the heading, not inside the form, inside the body. Okay. Now I got the heading. Then I will start to design the form. Okay. Then inside the form, I have to create a table. Okay. Table. And I align the table center. And I am giving the cell padding of 10. This is the basic style I am giving. Then the first row. That is for the first name. For first name, for everything we are going to declare one row tr, then inside that td, this is the label first name, then in second td I'm going to write the input type text, name equal to first name, max length suppose 50, then placeholder suppose I am giving the hint of one name. Okay. You can also use the required. I'm using the required field also. Required. Okay. Then I'm giving the hint of like maximum, max 50 characters allowed. Okay. It will look like this. I just show you. Okay. First name. This is the text box which has a hint, and this is the message. Okay. Like this, I need for last name. And here last name. Okay. See, there is no need of break now because I am designing using the table. Amira, now you can see anything? Amira, can you see my desktop? Okay, there is no need of break. It automatically comes down because we are using the table. Okay, the first name, last name is over. Then we need the email ID. ID. See, when you are using email ID, your input type equal to email. What the benefit you are getting by using input type equal to email? Automatically, it will consider this field will accept the proper email ID. Like the email ID must have the @ symbol and one domain name. If you use input type equal to text, then if you will not enter the proper email ID also, it will accept the detail. Okay, that's why these are the new things in HTML5. Okay, input type equal to name, email input type equal to phone number. Okay, these are the things we will see. Okay, understood what's the use of input type equal to email? Then name, here I'm going to give name is email, ID, placeholder I'm using john@gmail.com. Okay, and maximum length I'm giving 100. Maximum length is what? How much character it should accept. Okay, size is size of the text box. Maximum length is how much character it should accept. Like it should accept 100 characters. See, email ID. Then what I need? Mobile number. Mobile number. In mobile number, first here I should change to mobile number. Input type, you can keep it text, you can change it to number. Okay, I will show you the both the difference. If you write input type number, okay, suppose name, here I just change to file number. Max length 10 or 12 suppose, and placeholder like okay, and required here I am writing 12 digits only. But here I have used input type number. Just see the difference. Input type number. When I use input type number, you can see here. It will come like this. Okay. But I need phone number. That's why you can also use input type phone. Input type phone, not input type tel. Okay. Input type tel. Tel is for telephone number. Now it will accept only numbers, but not like that. This is now it is not a text box, but it will accept only numbers, but it will not show that increment decrement that sign, because that is only for the number. LD and LR, in which context you are asking? Can you explain me in which context you are asking LD and LR? Hello? Because there is no LD and LR such, but you can ask me that in which context you are asking the LD and LR tag. Because there is DL tag, DD tag, LI tag, but where you come across with the LD and LR tag, you can say me, then I will explain you. Okay. Okay. That's why when you are using the mobile number, you are using TEL. That is the input type tell. Automatically it will accept only numbers, but not text and not the 1, 2, 3 numbers, bunch of numbers. Okay. Then after this, I want to add the gender. Whenever you are adding the gender, it is a radio button. Radio button is what? Which will you can select only one field at a time. Okay. That is known as radio button. Like when you are doing the MCQ, multiple choice question. In that most of the question having the answer in the radio button. Radio button means only one option will be correct. Then how I can do that? Inside TD, this is my TD. First, input type radio. Okay. Name, gender. Okay. Value, male. Then same thing, copy, value, female. Okay. Here I forgot to write the male and here female. Okay. See, if you will not make the same name, suppose here you are written different name and here different, means you have not tried the name. Now, see, you can select both the radio buttons because now this is not mutually exclusive. How it will become mutually exclusive? When both having the common group, like both having the same name or same radio group. Okay. Here I am using the same name. Okay. So that it becomes mutually exclusive. Only one can be select in the single time. Okay. And another one thing, what's the use of value? Because when you select one field and you are sending the data, how it will take this data? Because when I select female, I want that female will be stored in the field of gender. How it will store? For that reason, we are using the value. It will get the value from the value field. Okay. Then I want the date of birth. Control Z. This thing I will copy. Date of birth. See, previously till HTML4, your date for date of birth, you are creating three separate drop down list. Drop down list is what? It will show you the options from where you can select. Okay. I will show you first how you are creating in HTML4 and in HTML5 how you will create. Okay. Date of birth field having three value: day, date, then year. Date, month and year. Okay. For each, for date, for month and for year, each you have to create the drop down list. Like what? How to create a drop down list? Using select. select. Okay. Suppose name, I will change it. Okay. First I am showing what's the old way. Birthday ID equal to birthday. Then inside this select, I'm going to provide the options. Okay. Like day, this will be the first option. Okay. I'm not going to give any value. Then copy, paste. Here I am going to give the value 1 and here 1. Okay. Then copy this, paste. For 10 I am writing, for 5 I am writing 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay. It will show like this. Okay. Day, you can select the day. Then again for the month, again for the year. I will copy this. For month, birth month, birth month. Then here for month, value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I am keeping. Or else you can give the value, suppose Jan, Feb, March, April, May. Okay, value Jan, Feb, then March, April and May. Then for year, suppose I have started from 2020, copy, paste, birth, year. Then here I'm writing year 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. And here 2020, 9, 18, 7, 16. Now it will look like this. Okay, you can select the date, you can select the month, you can select the year, but you can see that how many lines of code you have written. This is only for 5 I have written, but you have to enter the date till 31 and enter the month for 12 month and year at least 50 years. Okay, then how big the lines of code will be. Instead of writing like this, in HTML5, you have a input type that is known as date. Input type date. Okay. And name I am giving DOB. Okay. That's it. I just use required. Means you have to enter the date of birth. Now you can see that's it. It gives the calendar. You can select here 2020, 21 like top. Suppose you select 2006, July 13, it enter. Okay, it becomes easy. Understood? Date of birth, date type, input type date. Then address. Wherever you can't understand, just ask me. Okay. Then address. For address, you are using not input type. Address, for address, you are using text area. Text area. Okay. Text area name equal to address. Okay. Simply I am writing like this. We are getting a text area, and here you can see that you can resize it. Okay. You can increase and decrease. Means rows and columns. You can specify the size also. Like what? Here you can write rows 10 and columns 50. See, this is the space it will give. And you don't want it will be resized, means user cannot resize it. Then here you can write, it is not coming on here. In CSS you can do it. Style, resize, no, none. Okay. Now see, there is no expand button, means you cannot resize this. This is the fixed size. Okay. This is for address. In address, again you can enter the city, pin code, state, country. Okay. Else you can skip it, like you can also enter the city, pin code, state, country, but all these things are like input type text. That's why I'm not including that. Then after this, we will go for the checkbox. How to design the checkbox. Okay, copy it, paste. Suppose your hobbies, or you can tell that select course selection. Suppose you can register in multiple course. Okay, then here you are writing course. Then this here we have to input type checkbox. Input type checkbox. Okay. Name, suppose HTML. Okay. Value. Again, for checkbox also value is required, because based on your selection, that particular value will get stored. Okay. That's why value HTML. Then after this, you want to show the HTML. Okay. Like this, copy, paste, CSS, then here, CSS, then JavaScript, JS, value also JS, and here it is JavaScript. Then name, web, value, web, and this is web signing. Okay. Then suppose this is web weblang. This is weblang, and this is suppose PHP. Okay, like this. Now you can see it comes like this. But if you want like you want some This is one TD, this is one TD. Okay, and if you want some space, okay, then you can use the break. Okay, else you can keep it like this. And it is checkbox means you can select multiple items. Checkbox means you can select multiple items. Radio button means you can select only one option. Okay. Suppose you have you want to select some other course means which is not listed here. Suppose you want to say that I don't want this course, I want some other course, that will be considered as a suggestion. Then you can use the all this thing. Okay. Suppose after all this thing, I just use break. Then input type checkbox. You check this box and name. Suppose other course. Okay. Value other. Then for that value others other, and it should say others. Once you select the others, then you will get the text box, text, name, other course, max length 50, placeholder, example like programming language. Okay, and here you can write no need of that. Okay. If you don't want to select anything from here, you can select this one and you can write which course you want. Okay. And you can copy this value or like max 50 allowed. Copy this and paste it here. Okay. It should look like this. This is the use of checkbox. Then for qualification also you can use the checkbox. Okay. And then for qualification also you can use a checkbox. That's why I'm not using that. And here after address you can use the country. For country you can use the drop down list like whatever I have shown you. Then at the end what I am going to do, I'm going to use the submit and reset button. Okay. Then copy this. Submit and reset. See, submit and reset is what? One, when you click the submit, the data will get submitted. Okay. Once you click reset, the data will get cleared. First, I will write TD. Inside this, I will use call span 2, align center. Then input type, submit. Value is always a value. You can write any name, but I am using submit. Okay. But input type is always submit. If you write input type button, then it will not work. Okay. The same thing, input type reset. And for value, you can write anything. For value, I am also using the reset. Now you can see that we have a submit button, reset button. See, reset button work I am showing. Suppose here I am use the John. Then here Michael. Here John @ gmail.com. Okay. Suppose I want to reset this field. Means reset means come to the original value. Click reset. Everything get cleared. Okay. Reset means it will clear all the field. Submit means submit to the once you click submit, it will accept the user information. Okay. This is the basic table form we have created using the table. I hope all of you understand. Then these are the, see here I have not used the password because this is a student registration form. When you are using the password, you have a input type password which will make your password encrypted. Okay. Then radio buttons, checkbox, file select box if you want to select the file, like if you want user will upload the image, then you can also, like here after this I just copy this one. After address, suppose you want that user will select the photo, select image. Okay, image selection. Then code photo. Okay, and here for photo you are not using this thing, you are writing input type file. Okay, input type file, like I'm using file upload. Okay, or you can write directly only upload. You can see once you use input type file, you will get like this. Once you click this, you can select any file. Okay, it shows the file name. Okay, this is for suppose you want to upload your photo, it will upload it, and when it will store in the database, your photo will get saved. Okay, then text area, select box, submit and reset button, then grouping form controls. Suppose I want to group this complete form, like here I have used the heading student registration form, but I want to group this all elements in one uh, field set. Okay, see, by using you can also group logically related controls and label within a web form using the legend element. Okay, legend is for labeling, and for grouping you are using field set. You can see here, but field set legend will be the first element inside the form. Suppose here I am using field set. Okay, then the field set, then legend. This field set first control X and paste it before the form. Okay, then go to here legend, and here I am writing support student registration form. See, it comes like this. You can see that this is known as grouping form. They all will come into one group, and this group name is student registration form. Okay, anyone having any doubt? Then we will go for the little bit styling. We will do little style to this particular form. Any doubt, anyone? Okay, then First, let me format this. Indentation. No. Line layout. Why it is not coming? View. Line ending. Line indented. Okay. I just format it. Now this is my form. Now I want a style set. New. See, whenever you are using the Sublime Text, in that right corner, you just see my mouse where I am moving my mouse. Right corner. There is a option you can see plain text. Okay. If you click on this, this window will open. Here you can select your type. Like I want this document will be the CSS. Okay. What benefit you will get? Without saving this document, you can write the code, like auto generate the code. Okay. I just save it style one dot CSS. And again, I am telling how to include the CSS in HTML link. Okay. And H reference style one dot CSS. Now this style one included in the HTML. First, I want to style H2. Okay. Uh, this one, student registration form. If you don't want this, then you can remove this part H2 and you can remove the style. Suppose I don't want this H2, then I can skip this style. If you want, then you can do it. First one is font family. Font family. Sans serif. Okay. Suppose you want some font family, you want to use of Google Fonts. Okay. That also you can do. I'm showing you how to use the Google font. In Google, just use Google font. You just write Google fonts. It will call open Google fonts. Just click on this. Okay. Which font you want? You can search. See, if you don't know the form's name, then you can search. If you know the particular font name, then you can just write there. Suppose I need Poppins. Then select in Poppins which style you want. Suppose I need italic 400. Okay, this one. Then you have to select this style. Once you select this style, go to embedded. Okay, embed. Copy this whole thing. Okay, copy. Go to HTML form. Here, inside the head, paste it. Okay, save. Then copy this and paste it here. Okay, here. Okay, means in this way you can use the Google font. Then font size 24 pixel. Pixel is nothing but dot, 24 dot. Okay. Font style normal. Then font weight bold. Bold means it will be darker. Then color. Color I have already told you color is nothing but the font color, like your text color. Yeah, I am keeping blue. Then text align. Enter. Then text decoration. underline. Okay, first let's see how it looks. See, it color is blue and it has an underline. See, underline, you can see that the G not having underline. If you want all underline, then you can use under. No. Decoration, text, underline, position, under. Okay. Now you can see under. Now, suppose this color, you don't want to use this color blue. You want some other color. Okay. Then you can use the color palette. See, CSS gradient. You just open this one, CSS gradient. Okay. This will give you the color palette, like color shades, which shade you want. Suppose I want this one. Okay. You can simply copy it, this color code, copy it, and you have to paste it. Okay. Now you can see it changed. Simply you have to copy which color you want. Suppose I want this color, copy and paste. Okay. Like this, you can use the colors, CSS gradient. We will see background color also, how can we use, but this is the way to use the color. Don't worry about the colors. You can go and you can select any color you want, copy that color and paste it. Okay, there are a lot of colors. That is only the blue shade, then red shade, green shade, purple shade, yellow shade. Okay, there are mixed shades. You can select from here. Then we will come to table. Table font family. See, instead of writing font family again and again, what you can do, just use star. Star means this one will apply to whole document. Okay, and write it here. Means now in the web page, whatever you will write, the font family will be this one. If you want to change it, then change that particular font family in that particular element. Okay. Then color, text color, I am using white. Font size 16 pixel. Then font style normal. Then font weight bold. Then here I want a background color. Okay, but I don't want the color direct color. I want a mix of color. The mix of color is known as linear gradient. You just select here background. Okay, which mix color you want. Suppose I want this color. Okay, but 90-degree I don't want. I want to rotate it like this. Okay, then copy. Copy CSS. Open the notepad. Paste it. Okay, this is the color. You can select it, copy and paste it. Okay, now you can see it gives a table color. Why it is showing like this? Because this is the caption I have used. Okay, listen. If you want to apply in the whole thing, then instead of table, you can use legend, not legend, field set or form. Simply use form and this use this color here. Okay, the complete form get the color. Okay, understood? Then in table, no need of background color. Here form, you can use border, suppose 4 pixel solid, and the color this. Okay, you get a border, but I don't want the form border, that's why I just remove this. Okay, if you want a table border inside the form, then you can write border 2 pixel solid has 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, then border collapse, then border style. See that? Okay, it gives a border, table border. You can keep it. Okay, then table inner. Okay, suppose table a text, email, number. These all things I want to change the style. How can you do that? Input. Okay, first one type equal to text. Okay, then comma, copy this, paste it. Type equal to email. Then comma, paste. Type equal to uh, tell. Okay, and if you have type any other type, you can select that. Then all these things I want, suppose width 50%. 50% means it will take the 50% of the screen size. Padding from top and bottom 6 pixel and from right and left 12 pixel. If I have not explained the padding, no, don't worry. Padding and margin I will explain in the next class. Okay. 5 pixel 0. Top and bottom 5 pixel, right and left 0. And box sizing. Okay. It changes width. Okay. Then this 2 button style I want to change. Then I can use the same thing. Input type, submit, then comma, input type, reset. Okay, and I am just giving width 15%, then padding, top and bottom 8 pixel, right and left 12 pixel, margin, top and bottom 5 pixel, right and left 0, box sizing, border box. Okay, it comes here. If you use align items center. Okay, but no need of this. Okay, this is a simple style I have applied. You can also apply some more style, and we have created a form. But see, when I give the form color, it's not look good, and this field set and legend is not look good. Then what I can do? I can remove this filled set. Okay, and I am removing this legend and this filled set, and I am giving this background color to table. Okay, okay, now it look like this. Then okay, then if you want to keep it center, table align center, then why it is not coming to center? uh, I have aligned to center. Okay, center TER, I think. Okay, now it comes to center. And this is the some of the styles I have applied to the table, and we have created the complete form using the HTML5 elements. I hope all of you understand, and I have explained you how to use the Google font and how to use the CSS gradient color. Okay, you do practice to use these colors. Okay, and you have, if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. I will share the code and recording after the class. You just go through this and do practice. And if you have any doubt, then do ask me. Tomorrow we will, tomorrow not. We don't have class tomorrow. In next class, we will see animation transition, like how to do animation and transition using CSS. And I will explain all the CSS units, like what is margin, what is padding, and what is pixel, EM, all these things. Okay. Okay, guys, then bye. See you in next class.